Okay, everybody, today we are working on the sidearm. So this is the new sidearm I've been using, the SIG P320, or the M18 specifically, with this model here. I really like this. This has a Wilson Combat Lower, which is very much like the Wilson Combat Lower on the real steel version. It just feels so nice with the texture and the stippling or stippling. I really like it. But the barrel inside that came stock is just a cheap aluminum one, and also I don't really like the hop up that it came with. It's supposed to be adjustable here, and that does work, but with the bucking that it came with, it just couldn't hop very well with, I mean, honestly, it was like, even with .25s, they were just dropping like 20 feet in front of me. Now, it was very greasy on the inside when I first picked it up in a trade. Very, very greasy, so I had to clean that up, and that definitely fixed a lot of it. I also had changed the bucking out already with a maple leaf. It had this one in there, whatever that is, but it was just so greasy. So definitely clean it out beforehand. So this hop-up part is what we're going to be changing out. Maple Leaf makes one that has a true top-down. So first thing we have to do is punch out that little guy right there, and then we'll remove the spring here. Don't forget about that. Now this punch can go out either direction, because it retains it in the middle. It's already coming a bit. There we go. Set that aside. Now before you rip that thing out, make sure you get that little spring right here. See? It keeps it. So you just want to grab that. Then it slides right out. And that spring is retained by a screw in here, or by, not a screw, it will be a screw, I think, with this new one. Speaking of the screws, now when you open her up, yeah, you see it's got these little gears in. Don't lose the spring. Put my magnet over here. So when you turn the front piece right here, it's got a gear that turns this one, and then that turns this one, and it creates that top-down effect with this little piece that goes in, pushes down like that, or not top down. It just pushes down on the bucking. Now, actually, this one is metal that comes with it. I just don't like all that stuff. This is the part where it had an O-ring on this side and another one on this side that's shredded. Now, you could just replace that, but this whole thing here was like 30 bucks. And I do like to hop heavier BBs, so we're going to take off this maple leaf bucking. Here's the original barrel. Okay, the new barrel, we're doing an Angel. 6.01, 89 millimeters. Yeah, so it is a little bit longer, a little bit heavier, but way better quality. Make sure you line that up. A little bit of isopropyl. That is actually just a grub screw to hold in the little push rod. So you're supposed to loosen that a little bit, and this falls out when you're taking the hop up apart. This is still very functional in the way that you can change the hop up from the front of the gun. So that's really cool. It just has a different design in here that raises this. Here's an extra one. It raises the whole piece up and down to create hop or decrease the hop. You can see there. So that's the way it works, not by pushing down directly on that. This is just a grub screw. Okay, make sure that's in there. As that turns, it turns that and then pushes this whole thing up or down. All right, now the barrel. Okay, make sure when you're putting this on, the hop nub is actually right there. So that's going to go right where your nub placement is, inside the barrel there, in between those two lines. So you're going to want it to be just like that. And they sent an extra one. I don't know if there's any difference between them, but I'm just going to use the one that was already installed. They look the same to me. Yeah. That guy goes in there. Make sure the little notch lines up. Close it up. I'm going to do these bottom screws first, and then the one that holds the spring right there. This one, you're going to want to use some tweezers or something. You want the hook part of the spring like that, facing the barrel. And there's a little hole you got to make sure it's going in through. And then you should be able to drop that screw in there. And then just make sure it's being retained like that. Yep. All good. Back into the outer barrel. sure the spring is back in there. Like so. And the crossbar. Make sure it's equal on both sides. And then the grub screw. Once that's tight, it should hold it equally on both sides so that it catches. Okay. It does have little markings on there saying clockwise increases hop. All right, let's try it out. Okay, got .25s in here. That looks like no hop up, so let's adjust it. Now that is shooting really straight. If anything, it's a little overhopped. Yeah, it's a little overhopped with .25s, but that'd be really good with .32s or 3.6. Gee whiz, okay, I need to turn that down. Yeah, we'll run out of gas, but that is just, oh my gosh. Yeah, right on that tree trunk. It is going all the way out there. Okay. See y'all next time.